getting that wet as a young hoe.
Like we always do.
Hell yeah.
What's going on, you guys? Today I have a little bit of information for all you creators out there, for all you product makers out there, for all you hustlers, all you entrepreneurs, self-employed people, all you side hustle people, and some copyright information along with this. So just hear me out. So a couple of days, Adrian sends me a TikTok of this like small town America white woman who does what we do. You know, she makes accessories, sweaters, mugs, tumblers, and she happens to go to a country music concert, right? And just like anybody else would, when she got home, she probably left inspired, or perhaps because she does a little bit of business of her own, she has like a TikTok store. And I talk to you guys about this all the time. Now that when you conduct business, you see things from a different perspective. So perhaps she went to the concert and started looking around for merch and probably didn't see a tumbler. So she came home and was like, I'm going to make a tumbler. Well, she obviously doesn't have the connections to get to the singer so that she could have probably pitched him the idea. So she decides to just, hey, well, I'll just make a fan cup and just put it on my TikTok. Well, in the old days, offline, these legal teams, the music companies, the record companies, all of this was included in their package. That's why the artists didn't get shit, because the music industry or the music companies, they had so much in a package. And one of those elements in the packages was that legal team that goes after anybody using their stuff commercially. Or I don't know if it's just commercially or period. So anyways, that's offline. So the guy at the swap meet is not getting hit. The corner guy, the corner hustler selling Kobe t-shirts is not getting hit. The mixtape dude selling out of his trunk at the car shows, he's not getting hit. So offline, those people are not to be bothered because they're not a problem. It's the people who use it in TV commercials and movies that use music. Those are the people they go after because it's a mass, it gets mass attention. So anyway, on social media, we're all on the same playing field. Corporate, us, all of us are on the same playing field. So that lady happened to run across the radar of that particular agency. So they hit her up, it's like, hey, take all that down, stop selling it or else. Well, it just so happens that in the process of this, she had got hurt or got sick and she ended up in the hospital. So as she's in the hospital, they're tapping in on her like, hey, you need to respond or else. So she doesn't because she's in the hospital. She can't, right? So she gets home and she finds that she's being sued for $250K. So obviously she goes on social media on her TikTok and lets everybody know like, hey guys, this is what's going on with me right now. My little TikTok store account is frozen. They're shutting me down, So her fans and her people, I guess they made it viral. It got viral. And then it got to the country singer. Country singer makes a response letting everybody know that So there was an interviewer that interviewed the lady first, and she was like, he asked her, how much money did you make? And she was like, I only made $350. If he wants that $350, he can have it. I didn't intend, I'm not trying to take his life, I'm just a creator over here. That was not in her intention. So everybody gets on the singer's case, they start kind of like swarming to his page or his post. So he responds, man, and he lets everybody know, like, look, man, that team was not supposed to go after her. That team was supposed to go after other corporate entities that use my stuff. It wasn't supposed to go after the little people. So I apologized to the lady. Well, the guy apologized and he gave her, I think she had like $5,000 in her TikTok frozen. So he blessed her and flipped it. He gave her like 10, 11,000. And he basically was like, well, I gave her, 10,000, 11,000. And my team is going to release tumblers. So, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I'm sorry for the hassle. I hope everything, is good or whatever. And that's how they basically left it. So I don't know if he still if his legal team still told her like, hey, don't make them though, you know, or they just left her alone. But if they left her alone, which I hope they did, and just let her wiggle, that's cool, you know. But if not, he blessed her with 11K, you know, that's cool. That's kind of like, let's just say she made a certain amount of cups and, you know, she made 11K out of it. That's good, you know. But the important thing behind all this is she basically gave him a gem to put on his catalog to sell, to make money, merch his shows and stuff. If he sold each tumbler at each show for $50, man, it's gonna go, guaranteed. And I don't know how many he can sell, probably a lot. So she just gave him a gem, you know. So anyways, with that being said, what we do out here, man, is there's people out here who steal from you and they're like vultures. And there's people who take your stuff and they act like it's their stuff. That's not the proper way to do it. So a lot of us out here, we use, like I make a Michael Jordan cups, I make a Mike Tyson cup, I made a Fernando Valenzuela cup, and it's like I'm not trying to portray that I'm Fernando or I'm the Dodgers or, you know, like I'm not the photographer who took those photos. I'm just a person who's making cool stuff out of it. Now, if somebody were to legally come after me for it, then they have the right to, you know, because I'm using their stuff. And at the end of the day, though, like on the flip side to that, who's thinking about Fernando Valenzuela anymore? Nobody. So by me making this product, it's making people remember. When's the last time that we really thought about Michael Jordan, except for the shoes that keep dropping? They're milking the shit out of the shoes. They keep changing the colors and you guys keep buying them, but whatever. When's the last time we thought about Michael Jordan, the athlete, as an athlete? Not no time soon, no recent. So when I dropped a Michael Jordan cup with his 80s era photos on it, it brings that back. Like, man, Michael Jordan really was the GOAT, you know? So it's to bring those people back to the surface. I made a Mike Tyson cup. We all remember Mike Tyson for the shenanigans that he got into, and now he's just an old podcaster, right? But I put pictures of black and white Mike when he was young, in his prime, when Cuss was there. And it's like, that's the Mike Tyson that created the legacy of the Mike Tyson that you guys see today. So there's an intention that goes behind what we do, some of us, what we do. When I made my USBs, man, my intention was to introduce the old heads to the new music and the young heads to the old music. And I wanted everybody to interact with each other. I wanted everybody to be together. That was my way of creating unity. And it has happened. I succeeded in that. But because it's not a popular thing to do that, then it's overlooked, right? But if you look at the real, you know, meat and bones of what I do, I succeeded. I did that. And it's despite the fact that I want people to see that. Some people do see that. Some people do realize that. But the majority doesn't. You know, they think I'm just a USB guy. A lot of that music that I have on the USBs was on somebody's shelf. It was in somebody's storage. It was an oxidized cassette under somebody's bed. I mean, some of this music was long gone. So now I put it all back together and I put it out there back in the streets. Some of the rappers that are on the USBs have my USBs because they understand the culture. They understand the importance. I'm doing them a favor. Once upon a time in the old days, rappers had street teams. And that street team's job was to let everybody in the community know this rapper is coming. This group is coming. This is, you know. And it was to let us, I grew up in the era where there was posters everywhere. Too Short performing over here. Too Short and Dub C. You know, Ice Cube. This is when Ice Cube was doing like shows, you know. Jurassic 5 over here, you know. Like we saw posters up on telephone posts. Those were the street teams. I'm like a street team. But the artist doesn't have to give me anything. They don't have to give me no money. They don't have to give me no product. And they don't have to give me a strategy. I already have it all. I'm legitimately a street team. for all of those singers and rappers that are on the USBs. And I'm a street team for the legacies that I bring, that I keep afloat when I make a cup of a Michael Jordan or a young Mike Tyson or Fernando Valenzuela. I'm keeping their legacy alive. Does that deserve to be punished? I mean, I don't think so. Perhaps like the Dodgers could tap in and we can run the Valenzuela Cup because that's a fresh cup. Perhaps Nike could tap in and we can run that Jordan Cup. That's a fresh cup. Mike Tyson, etc. I DM Mike Tyson and send him pictures of that cup, but he probably doesn't control his IG, But it's like I wasn't trying. I'm not on some like, hey, don't let nobody know. I sent it to him. I hope he sees it one day, and I'll send him a cup for free, So that's the world that we live in. I just want to share with you guys that story, man, so you guys can be mindful of the things that can occur out here when you guys are using like the Grinch and Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and all these other things that don't belong to us, and we're making products of it, and we may be doing it from a wholehearted intention, from a kind-hearted intention. But when you're dealing with business doesn't think like that. Business is just one way. It's just fuck you, pay me. That's all business is all about at the end of the day. The handshakes, the smiles, the integrity and the dignity and the ethics, those are all good, but when it's all said and done, it's fuck you, pay me, So anyways, I hope you guys got something out of this. All right, guys. Peace.